Hello and welcome to grammar class. The present perfect tense is our topic today. The structure of the present perfect is auxiliary verb have or has and past participle or the third form of the principal verb. We know that the structure of the verb is the identity of the tense. Hence, have or has and the third form of the verb is called the present perfect tense. But how do you know whether to use have or has before the third form of the verb? The auxiliary verb have is used if the subject is I, we, you, they, or any plural noun. While on the other hand, the auxiliary verb has is used if the subject is he, she, it, or any singular noun. So we have to use have or has according to the subject and then the third form or past participle of the principal verb in present perfect tense. Now see some examples of present perfect tense on your screen. I have just taken my breakfast. In this sentence, have and the third form of take, taken, is in present perfect tense. He had seen the film twice. Had and the third form of see is in present perfect tense. The patient has died. Here too, has and the past participle of die makes the present perfect tense. The train has not yet come. Here, has and the third form of come, which is also come, is the present perfect tense. So we understand that in these sentences, have taken, had seen, has died, and has not come are all in present perfect tense. So in this way, we are learning to identify the present perfect tense from its structure or form. Have or has and the third form of the verb constitutes the present perfect tense. But what does the present perfect denote? What time aspect does it show? The present perfect shows the completion of an action or activity which is important at the present time. In other words, the present perfect tense shows a completed action that is significant at the present time. The action was done in the past, but it is important at the present time. And so, we use the present tense auxiliary verbs have or has, but the past participle of the main verb in present perfect tense. In the name present perfect, perfect means completed. In other words, the present perfect denotes a completed action or activity whose effect is still present in front of us. So in a nutshell, if an action was completed in the past and its effect is still present in front of us, if it is still important at the present time, we use the present perfect tense to express it. Generally speaking, the present perfect indicates a completed action of the recent past whose effect is still important at the present time. For example, I have taken my lunch. Here have and the third form of take, taken, constitutes the present perfect tense, and the effect of this action is that I am not hungry anymore. The act of taking lunch took place some time back in the past, but its effect is still important. As a result, I am not hungry. And that's why the present perfect tense has been used here. Now take another example. The sun has risen. Has and the third form of the verb rise is in present perfect tense here. Has risen is in present perfect tense. But what is the effect of this activity? Has risen. The effect is, it is warm and bright now. The sun is shining in the sky. As a matter of fact, The sun came out a little while back in the past, but the effect of the sunrise is present in front of us. Now, it is also important to remember that although the present perfect denotes a completed action or activity of the past that is significant at present, it does not indicate any past time reference of the action. In other words, the present perfect does not mention any past time point when the action took place. Why? Because the present perfect indicates the completed status of the activity or action with reference to the present time. To put it simply, we cannot use any past time adverbials or adverbs of past time with the present perfect tense. Now take some examples. He has come yesterday. Has come is in present perfect tense, but yesterday is a past time adverbial. The sentence is wrong. The train has left 5 minutes ago. Has left is in present perfect tense, but 5 minutes ago is an adverb phrase of past time. Again, the sentence is wrong. The match has started at 10 a.m. Has started is in present perfect tense, but at 10 a.m. is a past time adverbial. So, all these three sentences are incorrect here. So, the point is, we cannot use any past time adverbial or any adverb or adverb phrase indicating past time alongside the present perfect tense. Hence, in these three sentences, we have to use the simple past tense instead of the present perfect tense. He came yesterday. The train left 5 minutes ago. The match started at 10 a.m. The simple past tense is appropriate because of the past time adverbials in these sentences. Now let's learn the difference between has or have gone and has or have been. Take for example, he has gone to Paris. Has gone in present perfect tense. The sentence means he is still in Paris. He is still over there. He hasn't yet returned from Paris. On the other hand, he has been to Paris. These two is in present perfect tense because been is the third form of be and gone is the third form of go. He has been to Paris means he went there, but he is back after the visit. So there is this key difference between these two expressions. Well, as I said earlier, adverbs of past time cannot be used with the present perfect tense. However, there are some adverbs that are commonly used with the present perfect tense. And these present perfect adverbials are now on your screen. Yet, just, this year, already, till now, so far, ever, never, often, since, recently, for, hitherto, and so on. These adverbs are generally used with the present perfect tense, but some of these may also be used with some other tenses. Here are some examples on your screen. I have already seen this movie. Already with the present perfect have seen. Similarly, he has recently bought a house. I have never been to Europe, and so on. But how do you use the present perfect tense in the interrogative sentence? We put the auxiliary verb have or has according to the subject in front of the subject and the third form of the principal verb after the subject. For example, the auxiliary verb have is before the subject you in the first sentence and the third form of the principal verb taken comes after the subject. In the second sentence, the auxiliary verb has is before the subject train and the third form of the principal verb arrived comes after the subject. And if the sentence is negative, not or never is placed in between the auxiliary verb have or has and the third form of the principal verb. For example, he has not passed the test. I have never met him before. Well, finally, let's see how the present perfect tense is used in passive voice. As you know, in passive voice, the doer of the action is not the subject, but the receiver of the action is the subject. Hence, in passive voice, the present perfect has an altogether different structure. Have or has plus been and the third form or past participle of the main verb. So we see that in passive voice, been is used after the auxiliary verbs have or has and before the third form of the principal verb. This is the difference between the active voice structure and the passive voice structure of the present perfect tense. Now take some examples of present perfect tense in passive voice. The room has been cleaned by the maid. In this sentence, has been cleaned is in present perfect tense passive voice. Has been and the third form of the principal verb clean. The culprits have been arrested. Here, have been arrested is in passive voice present perfect tense. Have been and the past participle of arrest. Similarly, a meeting has been convened. Has been convened. I have not been invited by them. Have not been invited in present perfect tense passive voice. Has the lion been shot dead? Has been and the third form of the principal verb should. So we see that in these sentences, has been cleaned, have been arrested, has been convened, have not been invited, and has been shot are all in present perfect tense passive voice. So that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you have understood all about the present perfect tense and you liked the video. Please be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel for more grammar videos. Thanks for watching the video until the end.